me about it. Maybe it struck you, Mark. And I hate to attack people when they're not here, so I'm not really attacking. I'm just noting there was this undertone of moralizing. Like, it's unbelievable that Trump would do this. It's betraying the country. Either you get to be a libertarian on this stuff or you get to be an evangelical on it, but you can't be both, can you?
No, and as you said, it's particularly absurd when his client, and I'm glad you mentioned her name because he's now far more famous than the client.
Yes, of course.
Only in America. Normally in sex scandals, the person having the sex becomes famous. And it's a sad comment on contemporary America that the lawyer representing the person having the sex is now more famous. But as you said...
That is, let me just pause and say, that is so deep and true what you just said. I'm printing it out and putting it on my fridge. That's totally right. Sorry, excuse me.
No, it's true. And she is playing seedy strip clubs, the worst of the worst, where you're standing on a narrow 18-inch bar while they're throwing dollar bills at you. And she's actually engaged in the same thing that this guy was doing on your show. They both trying to figure out a way to monetize the case. And as you say, his way of monetizing the case is in being on primetime TV shows. And you insulted him by saying it was a $1,000 suit. It's a $4,000 suit. That's how well he's living. She's on those strip club bars collecting those dollar bills because I take it even if he's on a pro bono basis, she's still having to pay all the so-called quote-unquote costs.
Then he says, so look, I don't even judge her in some ways because it's hard to make a living. I don't think you should be dancing at a strip club, but I also know that people, do things they shouldn't do because they're desperate. What infuriates me is when he takes something as depressing as dancing in a strip club in Richmond or Bend, Oregon, where she's something thrown at her, and says, well, that's your choice. That's empowerment as a feminist woman. That's not empowerment. It's sad.
No, this is an evolution of the cliche. The cliche used to be that, you're working in strip clubs to put yourself through law school. She's working in strip clubs to put her lawyer into the White House. She will, I said when this whole thing started that the tragedy of this, he's basically a Category 5 hurricane porn lawyer, and she's like some spindly little clabbered house on the beach that will be left busted, broken up in pieces, and with nothing to show for this.
That is so true. In the end, the only ones who thrive are the lawyers, the parasites. And that is actually a metaphor for what's happening in this country more broadly. Shakespeare was right. Boy, Mark, thank you very much for that.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor. That's how you meant to wrap it up with him.
Unbelievable.
You need a court stenographer to read back the question.
Is it really quick? Is there anything that I didn't ask that I should have asked that you would want? I'm not sure he's going to come back, but if he does, that we should ask?
I was fascinated by his idea that 100,000 troops on the Canadian border from Russia is something you need to prosecute according to law. Brilliant. We should have tried that with Pearl Harbor. Filed suit in Tokyo District Court. It would all have been over a lot quicker.
Extradition treaties. That's so good. Mark Steyn, it's always such a pleasure to have you here. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Tucker.
By the way, Stormy Daniels' book comes out on October 2nd. I happen to know that because in one of those weird coincidences that happens, my book comes out the very same day. Daniels has written a tell-all, Time to Help Democrats in the Midterm Elections, probably advised by her lawyer to do that. I've written a book about why powerful forces are promoting people like Stormy Daniels and creepy porn lawyer in the first place. The book is called Ship of Fools, and it's a story of how our political class manufactures sideshows like this to hide the fact that they have no idea what they're doing, but are getting rich doing it. 2 books out the same day. If you want to send a message, this